Alrighty then, let's get back to it. Alright, now. How I was doing. Guessing I was going to this objective over here.
Good old Stellar Bay. Only place on the planet that don't stink of sulfur. On account of it stinking like fish instead.
The trick is not to breathe through your nose.
Mouthful of sulfur taste. Let's see. Going to this. Oh. Go to go. Oh no, that is not the right gun for this situation. Pardon me. Excuse me, sir. Wow.
Nice one.
Oh, thanks. Have some of that. You're gonna find what? Speak up. Can't hear you. Alright. Aw, they died so close to each other. Isn't that cute? It's adorable. Alright. Guess what? God damn it, Twitch. Why don't you show me how many viewers I have anymore? It's so annoying. Remember what the heck we were doing last time. It's been about a week.
Huh?
Come on, incoming!
Fate shines on us today. Excellent hit!
To shreds, you
To
say?
shreds, you say?
I do. You say. Fact.
I'll take your confession now.
I confess to being dead. Level up, though. Oh, and a perk. Nice. Alright, what do I need? Ooh. And perks, let's see. What other perks do I need to get? That would be nice. Found a science weapon I really like yet, so I don't care about that damage bonus. And okay. Going with scanner. Plus 20% bonus to head spot weak point damage. Get 2. Alright. Showtime. And you, Vika? a bad haul in here. Wait, oh. Alright, the jerseys, that's why we were here. Okay. Remember that now. Alright, let's get back to town. Hand over the jerseys. This is a nice little town though, isn't it? Oh. Streets are made of metal. What a waste of metal. You guys don't have access to concrete? Asphalt? Nothing?
Here to catch a game? I'm afraid the transmission's still pretty bad. What can I do for you? Really? Wait, let me just take a sniff. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just let it waft right into your nostrils. That's the smell of pure, unfiltered sportsmanship, baby.
Oh.
Tell Velma that Grim can keep his poster. I've got all I need right here.
Oh, you got a weird sweat fetish.
Graham's always filling the airwaves with his propaganda. Like it's done him any good. All it means is the tossball games get to us in fragments. Makes him real hard to watch.
That sweaty man musk, I guess. This. Going on a new little adventure, I suppose. I can get up there. Nope. Ow! Ah, the familiar, comforting crunch of my shins. Wouldn't be a session of Outer Worlds without it.
I'd give you a friendlier welcome, but I'm up to my elbows in salt tuna guts.
Who's spat in your spirits, Velma?
You noticed my mood? I'm surprised you can see straight today.
Zing!
I could be seeing triple and I'd still think you're being unkind. I just might find it funnier.
Will you try wrangling half a ton of dead fish with decades-old equipment and see what it does for your disposition? Anyway, what do you folks need? Caleb Herrick runs the autoloader operators. He thinks I don't pay them enough for flipping switches and turning dials. He and his whole crew walked out. Say they won't come back unless I pay them more.
Oh, why don't you just pay them more then?
Because we've got a budget, all right? And in case you haven't noticed, MSI doesn't exactly have a lot of spare bits on hand. You mind slapping him around a little while you're at it?
Maybe.
I'm joking. Mostly. Unless you can do it without hurting his job performance.
Figures.
If you can find a way to get him back to work, I'll make it worth your while. Check the yacht club. He's usually there.
Uh-huh. Thing with the poster, though. Find Mel. I don't have it there. We have to talk to her about it.
I'd give you a... Sure can.
Let's see. Oh yeah, that's right.
That's a surprise. Tossball being part of her business and all. Take the poster then. And if I never hear another word, something else.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yes, what? Unsettling ceiling sacks. Can I get over this?
Have you had time to check on that poster yet? I keep wondering if it's come in. Would you look at that? The Rizzo's logo is nice and bright, and you can still smell the ink on Mr. Holcomb's signature. I can't thank you enough. Still, you can have the bits I was going to spend at the bar this week. And you know what? Take my old tossball blocker too. Never get the chance to use it these days.
Oh, all right then. Let's see. How does this compare? Here you have it. Alright. That's done. Whoops. Wrong button. Okay, now. Now we'll investigate that murder. Also need to talk to Caleb. Right here. Where is this guy? Stairs, maybe? Excuse me, resident. Do you know where Caleb is? There he is. Nice glasses.
New face, huh?
Actually.
You from off-world?
Be really bad for your peripheral vision, but yeah.
A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Here, let me buy you a drink. Consider it an emissary welcome.
Bought me some water. Gee, thanks.
Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell, and revel with us? Sure thing. What did you want to discuss? Not forever, but we've each saved up our bits, and I stashed them safe in my home by the diner. I reckon we could last a week or two at least. If I knew that, I'd have tried it. Talking reasonably got me nowhere. Maybe you'll fare better. The others wanted to blackmail her, but we're above that. Besides, them are just rumors. We got no proof they're true.
Them's just rumors.
I would never endorse such an untoward tactic, you know, but, well, there's rumors that Velma's taking a cut off the profits. So far, it's just gossip, you know, but if there was any proof to be had, it'd be in the Saltuna warehouse, I reckon.
Let's see.
Me and my friends have taken our destiny into our own hands. We're untethered, free of responsibility and worldly cares. Well, as long as we don't run out of bits. But until the windfall's gone, we're riding high. See, we just walked out on our work. Had enough, we did. So now we're striking. It ain't any one thing but the sum of it all, having to work longer shifts for less bits. And the wages we do earn don't cover as much as they used to. Our supervisor, Velma, goes on and on about quarterly profits and meeting quotas. But that ain't what Sanjar promised us. Velma refuses to negotiate, so we're refusing to work. We won't go back until she agrees to pay us fair and proper. Us on Monarch, we're free from the board, you know? We have the right to lobby for better hours and pay.
Fair enough. Okay, well, it's not really Velma's fault, but if she is scamming, she is skimming off the top, that skimming could be used for a raise instead. Makes it kind of her fault after all. So if that's true, then she can eat it. But I'm on this quest right now. So, Magnum. Excuse me, sir. I'm here for clues. Please examine item here and provide me with clues. Uniforms, A. Fastball betting. Ah, you again.
Here to catch a game? I'm afraid the transmission's still pretty bad. What can I do for you?
Found his betting slip in a dead man's apartment. What do you have to say about that,
Poor Isaac. I was wondering why I hadn't seen him in a few days. I'd really like to help. Isaac was a sweet fellow, even if he did have terrible teeth.
Aw, poor guy.
Right. So the thing with Isaac is he didn't know where to stop. He'd get stuck on something, and he just couldn't let it go. Sometimes he'd drink purpleberry punch by the liter. Other times he'd keep betting on a losing team. Started owing the wrong people money.
Yeah, people like that shouldn't gamble at all.
I don't know for sure, but I saw Elijah and his buddies pushing Isaac around. They're hooligans from Fallbrook. They sweep into town, drop supplies off behind the warehouse, and spend the rest of their stay getting rowdy over tossball games. They usually loiter in the alley behind the yacht club. They're not allowed in the bar anymore. I bet you anything Isaac ran into trouble with one of them.
Sounds like it.
Mr. Sanjar will be pleased to hear about it when you're done. I know he gets fed up with the Fallbrook bullies, but there's not much he can do.
Well then. We'll look into that, shall we? The alley over there? Is that a town exit? I don't remember. Town exit, we can just fast travel.
What are the chances of all the times and places we could have been born?
Yeah.
So I'll have to go over the roof?
Every time the punch clock peals, a worker earns his meals.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I thought you were quoting It's a Wonderful Directorate.
Down here, I guess. Chums? Like a wood.
Who the fuck are you? Hey, what are you doing here? This is our secret alley. Berta already pissed by those crates to market.
Gross.
Listen, that purple-toothed twerp had it coming. Not that anyone has proof. And not that it's any of your business.
Oh, I'm making it my business, bitch. Yeah, making it my business.
Oh yeah? What are you saying exactly?
Saying pew pew, motherfucker. You know what, actually? I intimidate them, but they're murderers, so I'd rather just kill them.
That's the last of them.
Okay, well, I guess that's it. They confessed. Now they's dead.
You should know you're getting excellent reviews from across the company. What can I do for you?
I know.
But That's terrible. What happened?
They killed him.
But that means we won't be able to log their testimonies. If there's one thing I've been hoping to re-establish in Stellar Bay, it's proper documentation for legal matters. Always a shame when tempers get the better of good sense. Still, your intervention in the matter is much appreciated. Please consider this payment for your services. Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes. I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws.
You see what I have to deal with?
For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2, but back then it was known as Terra 1.
See, the board put their best people in that naming scheme.
Really? I always thought they were refreshingly straightforward names. After all, the whole point of terraforming was to make them Earth-like.
Here, though, the results were mixed. That ain't fair. They didn't leave on account of the hazards. They left on account of their cowardice. The hazards just gave them a reason to put to paper.
Sharp as ever, Nyoka. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out.
Pulling out is never the safest way to go.
Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to.
And how did that work out?
Most regard Monarch as a lost cause. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up. Ah, so you've heard about our prior acquaintance. I suppose you're right. Graham's always had a way with words. Strange as it may seem, I suspect he'd have quite the corporate career if he weren't so radical. Graham seemed like a reasonable man years ago. And we both agreed that MSI's treatment of its workers was untenable. I thought reforms would be enough. I didn't realize you wanted to abolish the corporate system entirely. Reforms are humane, but they're also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms. That's what I thought. But the senior executives laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else. In a manner of speaking, many of us stayed behind, in an act of quiet but firm defiance. As the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages. I don't know. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws. I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently.
It's straight bullshit is what it is. A fabrication rich folks use to preserve their investments by leaving a lot of people here to die slow.
Nyoka has the right of it. It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
A necessary evil for the greater good of society.
That's exactly how the board describes it. Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way. Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Without the board, chaos would overtake the system. Working within the established order isn't a principle to snub one's nose at, Captain.
Yeah, that'd go a long way toward rebuilding our homes.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation. I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship. I've discovered it's much easier to negotiate from a position of power. And I don't mean to leave MSI or its people at a disadvantage. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations. What can I do for you?
The info, pal. You're not so bad. Alright, what's our next quest? Oh yeah, I've got to investigate Velma. How? Talk to her, or... Okay. That's the bar, which means this one over here is the investigation. Yeah, something on that box. Let's see. I'll get to it. Oh, not my answer, but... Oh, maybe it is. Mind that. They can see me, can they? Crouch just to be sure.
Quietly now.
Or slightly more sure.
Hey, that's against regulation.
Never mind. They didn't react when I was standing up. But crouching down made me more noticeable. Silly. I do it this way. Oh. Now they can't see me. Stop it.
Great work.
Stash, huh? Oh. That was his money stash. I don't want to take his money away from him. Never mind, we're not doing that. Where was she? In that big warehouse, but where's that? This? Maybe? Hey. Hey.
I'd give you a friend. Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say.